Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. I thought I'd do a quick Tuesdays with Trina. This month on the blog I've been talking all about coping with rapid change because there's so much change going on in our sector at the moment. So I thought I'd do a quick live video with you to talk to you about my fear of change and how I've been dealing with it and how I've had to overcome some of those fears that I've had in managing a not-for-profit and moving through a hell of a lot of change over the years. But I think the first thing is the stress that we feel about change. And I think stress with change comes down to one really main thing, and that is the lack of control that we often have over the pace of which the change happens. And that kind of pace, it's either too fast because we don't feel prepared, or we don't feel ready, or we haven't researched it enough, or we don't know enough about it yet. So we get stressed that it's all happening too fast, or we get a little bit stressed because it's not happening fast enough. So we're either like ready for it, we want it to have been done yesterday, we're well and truly prepared, we want to make it happen, yet it's just going too slow. So yeah, so that's where my stress can often come from when it comes to change, one of those two things. But my fear and the fear that we feel around change, there's usually three responses I have to change that involve fear. And the first one is if the change comes up, I'll first of all maybe go to the fear of loss, and I'll start to worry and wonder, what am I going to lose? And what is my not-for-profit and what is my organisation and people going to lose as a result of this change? And and I can get stuck there. But I actually do try to go there, and I do try to think about, okay, all right, don't ignore it. You're getting a bit scared about the change. You are worried about what we're going to lose. Have a list what you're going to lose. So I'll sit down and I'll write a bit of a list about, okay, what am I worried about losing? And once I've done that, I tell myself it's time now to flip it and think about, well, what are we going to gain from the changes? What's the good things that are going to come out of it, and why are we going to go through it, and what kind of changes do we want to see that are for the better? Hello, Kayla. So yeah, focus then on what you're going to gain, and I go there. And I find I have over the years found that really, really challenging, because I like to think that I have a fair bit of faith and trust, in what's going on, but change really challenges my belief in faith and trust. And the other reason it challenges me is because my second fear response when it comes to change is the fear of the unknown. How many people have that? I have that. It's like, if only I could have a crystal ball that shows me that in a year, 2 years, whatever from now, everything's going to be okay. But we don't. We don't have a crystal ball. And usually the fear of the unknown comes about because changing takes us out of our comfort zone. And as much as I like to embrace change and get positive about it, it does take you out of your comfort zone, which is a bit scary at first. But without going out of your comfort zone, you don't usually grow, and you don't usually evolve and get better and improve, and you stay where you are. And while staying where you are might seem appealing, it's not very exciting, and it doesn't really create growth. So yeah, fear of the unknown. So when I have that, I have to tell myself, okay, I don't really know what's going on, but I know that I'm going to grow. I don't know how it's going to end, could end at all. There is a lot of unknown, but I could get a lot of growth out of this. And then the other and the last fear response I have around change, no matter what kind it is that I have a fear of failure. What if what I'm doing is completely wrong? And that's a big one. So what if what I'm doing is completely wrong? And so then I go there and I go, okay, Katrina, what if you do fail. What's the worst thing that can happen? Go there, talk about it, write it down, think about it. But don't stay there. So I don't stay in that. So I'll do that and I'll have a nice long list of everything that could possibly go wrong. And then I have to think about, well, yeah, now you need to think about what happens if this goes so right. What are the possibilities of this going really well and of it being a success? What happens then? And when I do that, then you start to think about all the infinite possibilities and all of the opportunities, and it's limitless then of what you can do and what you can achieve. And then you can start getting excited about the change and what it may mean for your organisation and for your team and for your people. But even that, it's not even the things that you imagined that could go well or the things that you imagined that could go wrong that it's the great thing about change. The great thing and the magic of the change is all of those unorchestrated outcomes and those unorchestrated successes that happen along the way, the things you couldn't possibly have imagined that actually come your way as a result of the change would not have come your way had you not even started the journey towards the change. And that's the magic of the change. And that's where I like to go when I'm looking at responding to change in my organisation and with my people. So yeah, I still have fear of change, but I try to move through it a lot quicker and challenge myself around those 3 areas that I get scared about. So I'd love to know what it is for you, and whether you have a similar response and how you've learnt to deal with that in the past. I'm going to head off now, and I hope to see you later in the week. I thought I might try and drop by on a Friday, maybe even with a glass of wine, and talk about the week that was and maybe some things that I have failed at and what happened there, because yeah, failure happens all the time. All the time. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.